students that are most beautiful between the ages of 35 and 39.
Great. So I have many months left.
Felix, you're back in town.
Been busy?
Yeah. Got a lot going on.
Do you? He should be worshiping the ground you walk on. And if he's doing something dishonorable, you need to know.
What if he's just busy? I'm in a rut. That's it.
I think we should follow him.
What?
I think you better see him in action.
This is your idea of incognito?
Coming through. Here's the plaza. This is the place they have an affair. It has the most exits.
Exits on 3 streets.
Can you just act a little less excited about this? Because this is my life, and it might be falling apart.
I don't know why women get plastic surgery.
Because of men like you.
I prefer the factory original.
Yeah, and every other make and model.
Thank you. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Are there two?
Aloha. It's Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, coming to you live once again from beautiful Hawaii here on the island of Oahu, bringing you, guess you, the best movie reviews on the entire island of Oahu. And yes, this is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man. And last night, I had an opportunity to see a new movie, well, a relatively new movie, that came out on Apple TV. Now, you know, you've heard my thoughts on Apple TV. You know, they have some great content. Unfortunately, it's not advertised very well, so you really don't know what you're going to get, or if anything's come out at all. I still haven't seen anything about a season 2 of the Jason Momoa show C, which I liked extremely much on their channel. But apparently, October 2nd, a movie came out, which I saw the advertisement Thursday, so I went ahead and I saw it Thursday night, called On the Rocks. And now remember our rating scale, shock a thumbs up, it's good to see, I recommend it. Shock a thumbs down, it's junk, I don't recommend it. And as far as On the Rocks goes with, you know, with there on Apple TV, I have to say, overall, I'd give it a shock a thumbs up. Not a really strong shock a thumbs up. But, you know, if you have Apple TV, you know, it's worth checking out, especially if you're jonesing for a new movie. But, you know, unfortunately, it's definitely not a movie that I think would pull anybody in to run to subscribe to Apple Plus. Now, this stars Bill Murray, Rashida Jones, Marianne Williams, one of the Wayans brothers or cousins or something like that, and Jessica Henswick makes a little bit of an appearance in this movie, not much. So right there, along with that cast, you know, with Bill Murray, you know, I definitely wanted to check this this movie out. This is by A21 Films, directed and written by Sophia Copeland. Yes, that's Sophia Copeland's Godfather 3 Copeland. And you know, she's had she's had success with directing Bill Murray before in Lost in Translation, and I have to say that this show pretty much follows along the same suit as that one, just maybe not as weird, perhaps, but definitely along in the same vein as, you know, Lost in Translation. This movie, On the Rocks, Bill Murray, it doesn't really focus on Bill Murray's character until after the movie starts. You would think, as it is initially focused on Rashida Jones, that you know, she has a marriage, 2 kids. You know, they're struggling to make it. Well, not really struggling to make it. She's a very well-off author who currently has writer's block, but comes from a well-to-do family. Marianne Wayans is her husband. You know, and they seem to love each other very much. However, with their children, 2 younger children, one who's probably about 7 or so, they've been married for almost a decade at least. And you start to have your general concerns about marriage and infidelity, as he is continuing to work long hours. As an author, she has the ability to work at home and watch and raise the 2 children. Well, he has to go away on various business trips, across the country and to, overseas areas at times. She finds a questionable item in his luggage that is, that belongs to one of his female co-workers, who is Jessica Henswick, a very beautiful young woman. And so her mind starts to race about possibilities that he's having an affair. And, but other than ask him about it directly, she enlists the aid of her father, Bill Murray, who is a known womanizer. Well, maybe not a womanizer, but known for his lecherous tendencies towards women as well, thus having divorced from her mother early in, her childhood, I guess, Rashida Jones's childhood. But apparently the 2 still have a great, wonderful rapport with one another. And as a person who has cheated on many women throughout their time, Bill Murray is able to give her advice and insight into definitely something she would not normally have access to. Perhaps the male perspective on adultery and fooling around kind of a thing. And he knows just how to track her husband and follow him and all that stuff. But needless to say, the 2 kind of go on a little bit of an adventure together. And it's not clear, well, it's not clear at first if Bill Murray really cares or not about this marriage for his daughter. It's clear that he doesn't want her feelings to get hurt. But he's definitely not going out of his way to maybe, to help him out. Never is he given, her husband, Rashida Jones's husband, Marion Wayans, the benefit of the doubt. And, and honestly, from what the film shows, he is, he's looking pretty guilty. Let's just say that. Well, the fact that he seems to forget her birthday all adds layers upon his guilt, to say the least. So other than that, again, it is a shock a thumbs up. Maybe not a super strong shock a thumbs up, but I feel that if you liked Lost in Translation, like I did, Sofia Coppola, her style, I haven't seen very many films by her, at least not that I know of, but I know that I've seen Lost in Translation. And this follows the general kind of plodding around that she normally does with her films. You are tuning in as much as I did to see Bill Murray's craziness, his zaniness, to see the quintessential Bill Murray role, which pretty much he does. I mean, is his role, is his acting style any different than how he is in real life? I don't know. But definitely during this last part of his life, well into past his 60s, I think he's in his 70s, Bill Murray. He's definitely, you're going to see Bill Murray in a movie because he's Bill Murray and because he's playing Bill Murray. Not because he's like, oh, somebody else, I didn't recognize him in this role. He is very clearly Bill Murray, like all his other roles, as of late. It just depends on which aspect of his persona he wants to amplify. And again, you could maybe see this movie as a continuation of the, Lost in Translation, I tried to kind of fit it into those blocks, where he was an actor in that movie, or a actor on Hard Times, just doing more advertising, especially in the foreign markets in Lost in Translation. And the same kind of relationship that he forms with that young woman who's also lost in a foreign culture in Japan. He forms with Rashida Jones in this movie, who is lost in her marriage and the thoughts of, possibly having to divorce her husband. Someone she has loved, who had loved her, but maybe, as it is with any marriage after a long, substantial time and maybe, a couple of kids, you're just not feeling that heat and that passion that once you did a long time ago. So what can I say more about this movie? I don't want to give any spoilers. Did he cheat on her? Did he not cheat on her? Let me just say that if I had a chance to, cheat on somebody with Jessica Henswick, I certainly would. Not that I'll ever get the chance, mind you. But to say, any more would be spoilers, and I'm not going to do that for you in case you are interested in this movie. But, it's not as funny as maybe, a Life Aquatic Bill Murray portrayal is. It's, a little bit more on the serious side. There are some jokes, some silly antics that he does. That is quintessential Bill Murray. That was something that he brings to this role that only adds life into this film where maybe there wasn't any before. And I think that without him, I certainly would not have seen this film or this movie. So, if you like Bill Murray, if you're maybe a fan of Rashida Jones, I guess she was in that TV show, Parks and Recreation. I don't know. I never watched it. If you're fans of them, definitely check out this movie. And you have Apple TV or Apple Plus, or what is it called? Apple TV, I think. Definitely go ahead and check it out. It's free. It's not one of those movies that would have normally been released on a streaming service. So it's not like a Netflix film where it's like, oh, we just made this just specifically for Netflix or for Apple TV. By A21, this is an A21 film, an artsy film, very much like Lost in Translation. It would have probably gone to theaters, not burnt up the box office, but it would have went to the artsy-fartsy theaters, over here, over at the Kahala Mall, of course, and played a pretty standard run over there. If it wasn't for the COVID-19 thing, shutting down everything. So definitely it's something to check out, later on, especially if you have that movie or, that streaming service, Apple TV, and if you like those kind of artsy films, and especially are a fan of Bill Murray, and I guess maybe Sofia Coppola and her directing style. I don't know. I guess you could be. It's like, anybody I think could have directed this and done about the same, because you're just paying to see maybe Rashida Jones and definitely Bill Murray do something in this role. I would have liked to see a little bit more, life and vitality, but, being the roles that it is, a man, at the ends of his life, enjoying spending time with his daughter, his estranged daughter, due to divorce and everything, is still kind of nice to see, more so than, maybe a zany, crazy Bill Murray. Because he does bring some heart out into the role, as he seems to significantly care for his daughter and her welfare to make sure that she's not, being taken advantage of by her husband currently, and maybe his lecherous ways. All right, thank you so much. This is Trinidad, the Island Man, your Island Man, live here in Hawaii, saying mahalo and aloha.